Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as tonight was the WWE 2024 Royal Rumble. It's January 27th, 2024, and we had a really good show. The show itself went, I want to say 3.5 hours, started at 5, was over roughly a little before 8:30, so almost 3.5 hours, and it was a really good show. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire thing from the start with the Women's Rumble all the way to the end with the Men's Royal Rumble match. I thought this was another solid, well-booked pay-per-view premium live event, whatever you want to call it. And then we also did watch the press conference afterwards. We'll get into a few things from that. There's not too much coming out of the press conference. You know, I thought there'd be more, but Triple H basically no-sold all the Vince questions going, oh, did I read the lawsuit? No. I found out about it when you found out about it. What are we going to do to make people feel more safe? Everything we can. How much did I know about the allegations? I'm just going to say we got better things to talk about. Like, he no-sold it all for the most part. So not really much coming out of that. Cody said more about it, I think, than Triple H actually did. He called it a dark cloud on the business. But we'll get into all that and everything. Also remember that at the end of the show, we will be taking your calls at 510-906-1341. And you can always put a super chat in the live chat to make sure your comment, question, or concern does get read live on the air. But the number will be scrolling down here at the bottom on the ticker throughout the show if you guys want to call in and give me your thoughts on the Royal Rumble. And it's just Royal Rumble. We're not talking Royal Rumble. You ask a Vince question or I kick you off, because this is a Royal Rumble recap. It is not a Vince McMahon allegation video. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, it doesn't just have to be your Amazon Prime account that you link to your Twitch. It can be anybody's Amazon Prime account. Also, remember to go over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live. That way you know when we post new videos. We post things to the community tab and so forth. Also, remember to hit that join button to become a channel member to support the channel. And like I said, if you donate a super chat in the live chat, that is the best way to get your question, comment, or concern read live on the air. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, getting an older game like Horizon Forbidden West, claiming the free game Infinifactory, or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited, at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Hey, you still haven't got that battle pass for this season and you see Solid Snake is in Fortnite? Yeah, use the code. You see they got Raiden in the shop? Use the code PWU NLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. With that, we got a stacked Royal Rumble to talk about. This was a really good, fun, awesome show, and it kicked off with one of the better, if not best, Women's Royal Rumble matches we have gotten thus far since they began. When was it? 2018 was the first Women's Rumble, I believe. And so nothing happened on the pre-show. Like, there was like a Paul Heyman interview, but I didn't see that. I had the pre-show on, but I was watching the 24 Hours of the Daytona race, which is still going on right now. And so I really didn't pay too much attention to the pre-show, other than I see Pete Rosenberg walking around backstage, and I go, what is this? And I thought this was really cool. They gave him a mic and said, go talk to people. I thought that was really cool and effective. He went up to R-Truth. And he's like, oh, R-Truth's doing something with he's in a batting cage. Truth, what are you doing? And Truth's like, I got these balls, but they don't want to open. Can't get them to open. I want to see if I can get a better number for the Rumble, but I can't get these balls to open. And Rosenberg goes, that's Truth. Those are Major League Baseballs. And he goes, huh? And he gets all confused or whatever. And he's just like, all right, Truth, yeah, have a good time. Try to get your balls open. And then he goes, talks to Punk, this, that. That was really cool. That was really cool. Also, speaking of Truth, they filmed a social media video where Truth is walking in the building going, hey, guys, happy WrestleMania. I'm like, oh, yep, our Truth, our Trizzle. So, yeah, Truth being Truth, and we got more Truth being Truth a little bit later in this first match. I do want to say thank you for the super sticker from Mighty Mouth 21. Really do appreciate that. He said, it says, let's celebrate the first super of a live stream. Thank you, Mighty Mouth. His question is, did Jade have a similar logo from AEW run on her jacket and Titantron and similar theme song? I don't know about the theme song because I've never paid attention to Jade's theme, but yes, the logo is similar. So I believe maybe that was like a logo maybe she had created. But regardless, even if that was the logo AEW created for her, they could have just made something similar. There's no trademark on the logo or anything like that. Like, there's no trademark on the graphics, because as we saw, AEW created similar graphics for CM Punk when he went there than WWE did. So that's what that's all about. Also, I want to say thank you to Elite Tiss, who put a super chat that says, I'm glad The Rock didn't show up. No wanted to see the roided up bake bean. Okay, I get what you're saying. I am glad The Rock didn't show up as well. But now the big question is does that mean we're not getting the Roman match at Mania with The Rock? Is it not Rock and Roman? Now everyone's saying it can't be. Cody already said he wants Roman. He pointed at Roman. Yeah, he did. But no one ever said Roman can't work 2 nights. What if it's Cody and Roman on night 1? Well, no. Cody and Rock on night 1. Roman and Rock on night 1. Roman beats Rock and then loses to Cody, and the belt goes to Cody on night 2. They could do that. They could do a 2-night thing with Roman. He could work both days. So we don't know what's going down with The Rock. The last report was that Rock was adamant that he wanted to do the match, and it's not going to be an Elimination Chamber because at least as of last week, Roman Reigns was not scheduled to go to Australia. He was not scheduled to be in Perth for the Elimination Chamber show. So unless plans have changed, that right there basically negates it happening there. Now, if it's not happening at WrestleMania, could they do it at SummerSlam? We don't have a location, but yes. Could they do it at next year's Mania? Sure, but then Dwayne's going to be another year older. Dwayne may have more projects. Right now, the only project that he's talked about going forward is the live-action Moana, and that, I think, is not supposed to start filming until later this year. So he's kind of freed up right now. So we'll see where that goes with Dwayne and Roman. But again, remember, if you want to get your question read live on the air, you can do so by submitting a super chat. Or if you're watching on Twitch, you can put Twitch bits with your question as well. As far as the show itself does go, Michael Cole said, we're sold out. Over 40,000 fans in attendance. We had a 3-minute long video about the area of Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, and the Royal Rumble, narrated by Hulk Hogan. Cody Rhodes was shown surveying the stadium at one point, and CM Punk was shown arriving as well. Then we hear, let's go! And out comes Pat McAfee. Michael Cole's all pumped up. Corey Graves acts like he's mad, and Michael Cole tells Corey, hey, Corey, unlike last time where I didn't know Pat was showing up, I knew this time and didn't tell you. So we had Pat McAfee, Corey Graves, and Michael Cole on commentary for the entirety of the show, and it was great. I loved Pat going, he's 7'3". Omos is 7'3". He's not a real human. And then getting in the ring, looking at Omos, looking at Braun Breaker, and going, nope, I ain't fighting them. As far as the women's rumble does go, match itself went 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 56 seconds. Natalya came out first, and then the returning Naomi came out second. And I'm going to be completely honest. I've always liked Naomi, but I wouldn't say I'm like a big Naomi fan. I've always thought she was one of the more athletic females in pro wrestling. But I would never say, oh, I'm always Naomi. Naomi's first over everybody, anybody. I'm a Naomi fan. But when she came out and I heard the music and I go, that's the glow music. I'm amazing. And then the lights come up with all the black light and you see her do the dance. I'm like, look down my arm and I've got legit goosebumps. I don't know why, but I had legit goosebumps that Naomi was back in WWE. So during her entrance, this was an interesting one. They called her a former TNA Knockouts champion, which we learned later, the current TNA Knockouts champion was in the match. So maybe that's why they referenced it, because they also referenced when Jordynne Grace comes out, when she came out, they said Jordynne Grace is the newest TNA Knockouts champion. She actually beat Naomi recently to gain that belt. So really, really cool. So we get welcome back chants and the two square off before Bayley comes out at 3 to a pretty good reaction, and Candice LeRae comes out at 4th. Number 5 is the aforementioned Jordynne Grace. She came out with the Knockout Championship belt. The announcers put her over big, and I was glad with the way she got to showcase herself. This wasn't just hey, here's a random girl in the Rumble. She's going to be in for 3, 4, 5 minutes and then get dumped. No, she was in for a while. They gave her 3 or 4 different showcase spots to where like commentary referenced what she was doing. They zoomed in on her with the camera. They focused on her. That was great. We don't need WWE working with different promotions all the time. We don't need WWE to always be like, oh, we're bringing in someone from AEW. Oh, we're bringing someone in from this company. No, but having 1, maybe even 2 every year in the Royal Rumble, somebody from outside the company, that's something I've said they should be doing for a very long time. Working with another promotion to get one of their top stars in the Royal Rumble. Now, the interesting thing here is if you remember when they did, I think it was the first Casino Battle Royal in AEW. I want to say it was that first All Out in Chicago. And I could have the dates wrong. I could be thinking the first Double or Nothing. But regardless, they did a Battle Royal. They wanted Brian Cage in that match, who was the current TNA champion at the time, Impact World Champion. And Impact said, no, we don't want our world champion in there getting beat. But then WWE says, hey, we want to put your women's world champion in the Royal Rumble. They go for it. So, pretty cool there. Regardless, like I said, Jordynne Grace looked great. Corey Graves told Pat she's got muscles in places he didn't know you can have muscles. And yeah, she comes in the ring. She hugs Naomi. Crowd. So there was a thing with the crowd tonight. I don't know if they were just mic'd bad because it was such the building itself was not good for the crowd noise, or if they just were off and on reacting and kind of flat at times. So there's something there. Well, regardless, she hugged Naomi. And they started trading blows. And the crowd really started going once they started fighting. Grace did get the better of the exchange. Out would come Indy Hartwell at number 6. Asuka would enter at number 7. And Bayley actually kind of seemed surprised that Asuka was even in the match. Asuka acted happy to see Bayley, and they started to work together. Bayley was hesitant, but they worked together, and they eliminated Indy. Ivy Nile would come out at number 8. There was a dead period that led to Bayley inviting Cole into the ring. She literally pushes down the bottom in the middle rope, pulls it up, and she goes, come on, Cole, you want to get in here for a little bit? That was really funny. Katana Chance came out next at number 9. This is when they did some power stuff with Jordynne Grace and Ivy Nile, where they each basically held up another girl for a delayed vertical suplex, and they're just like, who can hold the girl the longest? Who can hold the girl the longest? We're just stare at each other and just hold them up. And they were holding, I forgot who had who, but I remember Katana Chance and Candice LeRae were the ones being held up. A third of the way out, or in, and Bianca Belair comes out at number 10. Belair knocks down Asuka and Bayley with a double blockbuster. Belair dropped Chance onto LeRae and Bayley before hitting all three with a springboard moonsault. Kairi Sane would enter at number 11, and she worked with both Bayley and Asuka to eliminate Candice LeRae. Tegan Nox would come out, and they kind of like made fun of because Michael Cole's like, she's the girl with the shiniest wizard. And they're like, what's a shiny wizard? And Cole's like, well, ain't the name of her finisher? And then Pat goes, I don't know, Harry Potter. So she comes out at number 12. She gives Bayley a Molly go around and then she saves, well, no. So Natty saves her from being eliminated. They then kind of embrace. Then Natty tries to eliminate her. She eliminates Natty, and then Bayley immediately eliminates her. A little convoluted, but it made sense. But now you got to go, okay, are they still a tag team? Or is this just a quid pro quo, everyone for everyone? So then we had a tremendous save by Kairi Sane. Kairi gets thrown out of the ring, and she starts to slide out over the top rope, down the side of the ring. One of her feet barely touches, and then her legs go clunk, and she's got her feet up on. I just gotta show you the photo. I gotta pull the photo up because this is amazing. Like, let me pull this photo up here on the screen because it's just like what? Like one of her feet barely touch, and then yeah, this save right here. Why won't it? Oh, it updated different. Okay. So we have this right here. Where her feet are up on the video board. And so, like, Asuka's trying to help her or whatever, and then they both get eliminated, her and Asuka. But what a save. What a save. Banks says, I thought that was someone's finishing move. The Shining Wizard. Yeah, the Shining Wizard is their finishing move. So the Shining Wizard is a move where your opponent is on their knees, like sitting up on their knees, and then you run at them and kind of knee them in the face, basically. Well, not knee them, more like you kick them with your inner thigh, like this part. You come up and you boom right here into their face. Basically what a Shining Wizard is. And you just like mow through them. Banks says, are you going to talk the special thing that was supposed to happen at the end of the show? What Triple H said? I don't know what you're talking about. What special thing? What special thing, Bangs? DM me on Twitter. I don't know what you're talking about. So, as far as going back to this Rumble, Bayley is now left alone. No more damage control in the match. Chelsea Green enters in number 14. And this got a little weird because at one point I thought Chelsea was eliminated. And then she gets back in. So, yeah. Belair and Grace are fighting on the apron. And then eventually Belair does give her a KOD. And there you go. Also, Bianca's hair got eliminated. Before Bianca got eliminated, a strand of her hair was just laying at ringside for quite a while, for like half the match. Piper Niven that comes out at number 15. Green was almost eliminated, but Niven saved her. Niven teased dropping her on purpose, but didn't. Niven squished Green in the corner by mistake when, people move out of the way. Xia Li came out at number 16, and I said, oh, she's still here? We never see Xia Li. Ever. Maybe she works main event. I don't watch main event. Zelina Vega came out at number 17. Her entrance gave me Athena vibes because she came out. She had like mechanical wings. And I go, oh, that's not cute. Kind of like Athena. She planted Niven with a DDT early on. Maxine Dupree came out at number 18. She tried her best, but looked all right. Niven would eliminate Chance. Nia Jax would come out at number 19, and they made her the monster. They made her the absolute monster. And I'm just like, oh, so they're just really pushing Nia big, really pushing Nia big. Nia being made to look like a monster was not just to make Nia look good. In actuality, they didn't even care about it making Nia look good. It was supposed to be Jade eliminated the woman that all the other couldn't eliminate together. This was Nia looking good was actually done to make Jade look phenomenal. So, like I said, Nia came out number 19. She eliminates Lee and Niall. Nia then drove Jax. Niven then drove Jax into the corner, but unfortunately, Green was also in the corner. Shotzi entered in number 20 with a tank. Naomi and Shotzi teamed up on Jax, but Dupree hit a reverse caterpillar. This was weird. I don't know. All the women, there were about 8 of them in here, tried eliminating Nia, and Nia went, yeah, and shoved them all off of her. Bayley then eliminated Maxine Dupree off of that. Jackson eliminated Niven. Jax press slammed Chance out of the ring onto Niven, Lee, and Green. But Green, I guess, wasn't eliminated because she got back in the ring. I know. Becky Lynch then comes out at number 21 to a huge pop from the crowd. She goes right after Nia. Lynch shoved Green off the apron to eliminate her. Out would then come Alba Fire at number 22. Shayna Baszler at number 23. Valhalla would come out at number 24. And Michael Cole says, it's Valhalla. She better have the antlers. She hasn't had the antlers in weeks. And then she comes out with the antlers. She goes, she's got the antlers. That means she's going to win. So Valhalla gets about halfway down the ramp. And Truth comes sprinting out. He looks at her like, what are you doing in my number? And keeps getting it. And he gets in the ring and goes straight at Nia. Great callback here. Goes straight at Nia. Nia throws him out. And all of a sudden, Adam Pearce is out there and he goes, Truth, what are you doing? Truth, this is the women's Royal Rumble. Why are you out here? You go to the back. Valhalla, you get in the ring. And Truth and Pearce are still going at it. So Valhalla slides in. And 5 seconds later, dumped right out. And Truth goes, wait, you're telling me that's all women in the ring right now? He's like, Truth, get out of here. But fucking Truth. You're telling me that's all women in the ring? And trust me, that wasn't the only comedy gold we got from our Truth tonight. Like, that wasn't the last of it. Anyways, Valhalla's in, Valhalla's right out. Crowd booed Nia. And then Michi would come out at number 25. Naomi would eliminate Alba Fire. Zoe Stark would come out in 26. Pat McAfee put Zoe over pretty big. And Stark and Baszler eliminated Vega by chucking her. Basically, so Shayna and Zelina were fighting on the apron. Zelina tried to like Hurricane Rana Shayna off the apron, but Shayna picked her up for a power bomb. Zoe Inzaguri kicked Zelina in the head, and then boom, Shayna would powerbomb her off the apron. Right on to Alba Fire. Number 27 would come Roxanne Perez. Jax eliminates Baszler at this point. Michin and Shotzi. Now, they said at one point that Nia had 8 eliminations right about here. And I don't remember if she got more after this. But I think right here she had about 8 eliminations. And that is the record. The record is a tie, now a 3-way tie, I think, with Nia, Shayna, and Bianca. So then, there's like the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There's a slight pause. And then I hear music that I don't know what it is. Then the graphic pops up on the screen. I'm like, is that what I think it is? And then Jade comes out to a big, big pop. Way bigger than I expected. I'm like, oh, yes, this is good. This is good. She got that big pop. That's great. And so I'm like, all right, let's see what she can do. There's holy shit chance that she's in this match. And Cargill gets in the ring, looks at Nia, and just goes, whoop, as if she was picking up like Katana Chance or Kaden Carter or Ivy Nile, some small girl. She picks up Nia like she's nothing. Crowd goes wild. Slams her down. Cargill then lifts up Nia like a scoop slam-ish position. Can't fully like pick her up like they wanted her to, I think. I think they wanted it to more look like Hogan slamming Andre. But she got her up enough to then get her over the top rope and dump her. Nia gets eliminated by Jade Cargill. Remember earlier, 8, 9 women were trying to eliminate Nia altogether. Couldn't do it. Nia off of them, or them off of her. But Jade was able to eliminate Nia all by herself. There was also a great shot as the camera expanded where Becky walks up kind of next to Jade, looks down at Nia, and was just like, oh, okay. That's what we're working with here. Tiffany Stratton would come out at number 29, and there's one person left. So Stratton comes in, immediately goes to the top rope and does a swanton on like 6 women in the ring. Countdown begins. 3, 2, 1. Burn. And out comes the returning Liv Morgan, dressed like Christina Aguilera. Liv comes out at number 30. The match is set. No Sasha Banks. So I don't know how many people were crying online, mad online. You didn't give us Sasha. No Sasha Banks. What the hell? This is shitty. No Sasha. No Sasha. I even saw a lot of people crying. No AJ Lee. No AJ Lee. Well, first off, there was never even a tease that we were getting AJ. Now, Sasha, Mercedes, did tease the Royal Rumble, did tease going back to WWE. But then we all told you, wrestling media, she's signing with AEW. The contract may have already been signed. Fightful had a report yesterday that said, we spoke with somebody in WWE and asked about the possibility of Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, being in the Royal Rumble. And their response was, and this was a higher up official in the company, their response was, yeah, we don't engage in contract tampering. Everybody is under the impression that she has already signed a contract with AEW. But if you were on Twitter anywhere after that number 30 came out, after Liv came out, for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, it was all, where's AJ? Where's Sasha? Why didn't we get Sasha? Oh my God, where's Sasha? WWE dropped the ball with no Sasha Banks. So, yeah. And also, here's another thing to think about with the AJ Lee thing. Give me 1 second. I got to sneeze. Never mind. I was able to hold it in. Anyways, here's the thing with the AJ Lee thing. Everyone's like, well, we saw a video of her training. She trained with her husband. She trained for the show Heels. Yeah. And on Heels, she also had a stunt double. Her husband didn't. Her husband did all of his own wrestling. But AJ had a stunt double for Heels. So think about that one. There's a photo of AJ and her stunt double and Kelly Berglund and her stunt double. Kelly Berglund played the, now it's going to, what was her? Crystal. Played the Crystal character. And they had 2 matches against each other, Crystal and AJ's character on the show, and they both had a stunt double. So if AJ was anywhere near wanting to come back to wrestling, even just for one Royal Rumble, if she's going to do this TV show, why is she going to have a stunt double? You know what I mean? If she can just go out there and wrestle, why does she need a stunt double? For what I'm under the impression of, Punk didn't have a stunt double. He went and did all his own stuff. But again, she had a stunt double. So that was never teased. That was never put out. No one ever tried to report. Maybe. Possible. No. The Sasha thing, it was more like we're pretty sure she's going to AEW. Haven't been told yes 100%. So there is still that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% chance something fell through with AEW and she shows up here. But no one ever thought that it was a real chance. And so for everybody on Twitter crying and bitching and moaning and whining and complaining that she wasn't in the match, no Sasha Banks. We told you. We told you she wasn't going to be there. I had people in my DMs this morning. You're going to look dumb saying Sasha's not in the Rumble when she shows up tonight. Okay. Who looks dumb now? So Belair and Cargill go at it, and there's a great shot that I'm going to pull up right here of the two looking at each other and the WrestleMania sign behind them. And I'm just like, oh, make that the match. Make that the WrestleMania match. Like, please, make this the WrestleMania match right here, this shot. Bianca, Jade, the Mania sign. As far as we know right now, Bianca ain't got a big match. Bianca ain't fighting Rhea. Bianca ain't fighting Io for all we know. Probably going to be Rhea and Becky, Io and Bayley. And so you want a big match for Bianca, especially after tonight? You give her Jade. Bianca versus Jade at WrestleMania. After Jade got that pop that she did, yeah, no, there's no doubt in my mind. Jade's going to do great things in WWE. She's going to be seen as a big star. She's going to be seen as a top act. So give her Bianca. Give her one of your best workers that even if Jade is still not 100% able, to be considered like a Becky, a Charlotte, or Rhea, a Bianca at the top, you put somebody in there with her at the top that can guide her through this match very well. And I think Bianca is someone that could, if she needs it, guide her through the match WrestleMania to make it a at least good match. So, like I said, Belair and Cargill, when it looked at each other, eventually they both press slammed different women, Morgan and Lynch, I think it was, respectively. The crowd popped, and then they were attacked by Bayley and Stratton. Lynch was almost eliminated by Cargill, but she held on. As Lynch was on the apron, Cargill swung Naomi around like through the ropes, and she hits Becky. Becky goes flying off the apron. She's eliminated. She then dumps Naomi. Naomi's eliminated as well, starting number 2. Stratton was almost eliminated at one point, but held on by Bianca's braid. Again, another shot I'm going to pull up here. This was a really cool shot. Held on by Bianca's braid. Like, God dang, that's cool. That's a cool shot. It's a cool visual. Bayley then kicked Belair to eliminate both Belair and Stratton. We get down to our final 3. It's Jade Cargill, Bayley, and Liv Morgan. All 3 wound up on the apron at one point. Morgan and Bayley teamed up on Cargill before Morgan wound up eliminating her. And then Bayley kicks, So Liv eliminates Jade. Immediately right after that, Bayley kicks Liv. Liv falls off the apron. Boom. Bayley wins. And then we get this shot. I'm going to pull this one up as well. We get this shot. Where do I have it saved? I know I have it here somewhere. Oh boy, where is it? Oh, it's down here. We then get this shot of just all the women, the final, 4, 5 or whatever, because Becky's over by the announce table doing the same thing, sitting, just like, you beat us. God dang. But I know, this is such a great shot to get on camera. All of them just sitting there like dejected going, we came so close. Oh, we got a super chat here from RTS with Oscar Montiel says, was it just me or was it Peacock, but the sound the entire night that the crowd was quiet? Oh, you're talking about, okay, so I get what your question is. You're asking if the crowd sounded quiet, and I don't know why I'm not here. You're asking if the crowd sounded quiet. Yes, and I don't know what that issue was. It was one of two things. It was either the crowd was just quiet and only reacted to certain things, because there were times when you hear them pop big. Cody's entrance, Punk's entrance. So there were times when we heard the big pops. But there were also times where we didn't hear them at all, really. We didn't really hear much from them at all. And so it's like, I don't know if that was the crowd themselves or if it was an issue. I wouldn't say that was a Peacock issue. I would say it was either the crowd themselves or an issue with the building and the way the crowd was mic'd. That's what I'm thinking. An issue with that building being domed, the way the sound travels in that dome, and then the way that you can't mic it as easily as like a regular arena. Bayley wins. Bayley points at the sign, and Bayley is going to WrestleMania. Now, Bayley has been saying that she's going to fight Rhea at WrestleMania. So we'll see how they get to Bayley and Io. I don't know that 100%, but that's just everything they're teasing. It does look like it's going to be Bayley and Io. Got to pop big for Bayley. So now, other than winning a WrestleMania main event, Bayley's done it all. NXT Women's Champion, Tag Team Champion, Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. I think that's everything a woman can win in WWE, I believe. Trying to think. Yeah. Let me go to Bailey's wiki really fast. But I'm pretty sure that's everything a woman can win in WWE. So Bailey has won NXT Women's Championship once, the Raw Women's Championship once, the SmackDown Women's Championship twice, Women's Tag Team Championships twice, Money in the Bank, and now Royal Rumble. Now, granted, she didn't win the NXT Women's Championship, but that's now just merged in the lineage with the women's tag title, so yeah. But regardless, Bailey's won everything. Because if you think about it, Raw Women's Championship, that's now the title Io has, and SmackDown Women's Championship, that's the title Rhea has. So, moving forward, we get the Fatal 4-Way for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship as Roman Reigns defending against AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and LA Knight. And so, before LA Knight comes out, we get a Slim Jim commercial. Then during this match, there's Slim Jim logos everywhere. This is a Slim Jim match. And I felt stupid because I go, yesterday on the podcast, I said, Slim Jim's going to they pulled out. They're not sponsoring WrestleMania. Well, and then they came back and they said they are going to sponsor or not WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. Anyways. And I'm like, I would think that they'll sponsor like Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. The U.S. title match would be the Slim Jim match. And then today when it was this match, I'm like, crack me over the head with a goddamn water bottle or something, Call me stupid. Duh. LA Knight's the Slim Jim guy. Of course his match is a Slim Jim sponsored match. Duh. So, yeah, they get a little slight commercial, and then LA Knight comes out. The match itself starts off as Knight slams Styles' head against the announce table. Orton backdrop Reigns onto the table. Knight responded by giving Styles a backdrop on the table before bouncing Orton's head off of it multiple times, and the crowd yelled, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," every single time. Orton then eventually managed to slam Knight. So he keeps slamming Orton's head. He finally goes to walk off. Orton grabs him and then does his backdrop on the table. Patented Randy Orton. They all traded moves in the ring, but Reigns wound up on top. Reigns plodded around the ring for a little while until Knight hammered away at him. Knight was all over everybody and hit an impressive leaping superplex. Like literally jumped from the floor, the mat, up to the top rope, and then superplexed AJ. Everyone's saying that LA Knight's, minimal in the ring. LA Knight's generic in the ring. Give me a generic guy that's doing that move. Jumping from the mat all the way to the top rope. No hands. So Knight hits Reigns with the BFT. Goes to make the cover. AJ barely breaks it up. He kind of more fell on top of them to break it up. Styles then fought back and hit Reigns with the Styles Clash. But Knight broke up that pin. You get the theme here? They're all hitting their big moves on Roman, but then somebody breaks it up. Orton then gives Knight a draping DDT for Michael Cole to yell, "Vintage Randy Orton!" Styles set up for the phenomenal forearm, but as he's on the apron, Randy sees him. AJ goes to jump up. Randy grabs him. So AJ's literally standing on the ropes, and then he just jumps out and does the RKO. Orton then is standing there for a second. He RKO's Knight. He turns around. Roman runs at him with a spear, but no spear, Mr. Tribal Chief, because Randy Orton jumps, grabs Roman, and takes the spear and turns it into an RKO. This looked awesome. Talk about lost their minds when Randy went for the pin. Referee 1, referee 2, referee 3 pulled out of the ring. And who is it? Solo Sikoa. Now it's Fatal 4-Way, no disqualification. So why the Jesus Christ does Solo need to be hiding in the hoodie? Yeah, pull the hood off. Unzip it slow. Go, it's me, Solo. Why do you need to conceal your identity? It don't matter. It's no DQ. They're fighting. Solo beat the crap out of everybody. Like everybody. He destroys and lays out Randy. He destroys and lays out LA Knight on top of Randy. And then he starts looking around. Where the hell's AJ? Where's AJ? I see you. And And AJ's over in front of the barricade in front of the timekeeper's area. So Solo gets out of the ring, runs like Braun Breaker fast. Talk about that later. He's just boom, goes to send AJ through the barricade, but then AJ moves, and with the speed and force that Solo goes through this barricade, I thought he was going to take out Samantha Irving, and he almost did with her sitting in her chair. Like, he just plowed through that thing harder than like most. Like, this was nutso. So Reigns is in the ring, and Styles nails him with a phenomenal forearm. Reigns then wound up stacked on top of Orton and Knight, with Orton on the bottom. So AJ's like, pin, I can stack them all. 1, 2. Randy then does this kick out that literally was more like he took his arm and like everybody off of him. Big old Jack boy Randy Orton. And they said it during Randy's entrance. Randy's coming out. Let's back up for a second. Randy's coming out to enter the ring for this match. And Pat's like, Randy Orton looks jocked. And I can't remember if it was Corey or Cole that said it, but he's like, yeah, one of Orton's thighs is bigger than my hips. They're just talking about how Orton was gone for 18 months and came back huge, jocked, big. So AJ goes and grabs a chair, gets in the ring and starts attacking Reigns with it. Second year in a row, the Reigns gets hit with the chair at the Royal Rumble. He then also hits LA Knight with it as well. Orton fought him off, but Reigns then spears Orton right out of the ring. Knight then dropped Reigns and went for the BFT, but Reigns shoved him into the ropes as Styles set it for the forearm. Styles fell off the ropes, and Reigns speared Knight to pick up the victory. So Roman Reigns retains the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. The match wasn't like spectacular. It wasn't one of these great classic title matches, but it was good. I enjoyed it. But then as soon as the match ends, I go, look, Paul and KO is going to be better. And it could have been if they didn't have such a shitty finish. Such a shitty finish. Also, that match did go 19 minutes and 28 seconds. Then we do move on to Kevin Owens challenging Logan Paul for the United States Championship that ends in a goddamn dumbass DQ. So Owens was all over Paul early. Hits a German suplex. Paul left the ring before Owens could hit him with a cannonball. Paul tried to go after his arm, but Owens fought him off. Paul eventually did stomp on the hand and hit a dive. Paul repeatedly slammed his hand against the post, but Paul hit a springboard crossbody and a standing shooting star press. Paul literally punched Owens' hand and hit a series of uppercuts. Paul then went for the 619, but Owens ducked and hit a clothesline. Owens went for a senton, but Paul got his knees up. Owens fought back with a neck breaker and a chop, consecutive cannonballs, and a frog splash for a 2. Owens went for a flying senton, but Paul got his knees up yet again. Paul went for 1-2, and Owens moved out of the way. Paul then hit a buckshot that at first, commentary didn't know what to call this move. Logan has called it on social media the buckshot. He said, I love doing the buckshot. But on commentary, they're like, Logan with that springboard flipping clothesline. That flipping clothesline. They don't know what to call it. They don't know what to call the buckshot in WWE. Even though Logan calls it the buckshot. I don't know if that it's not trademarked. Just call it a buckshot. Screw it. He hits a 2 off the buckshot because then he hits the buckshot and a splash. Owens then hits an avalanche fisherman's buster because, so they're on the top rope, well, middle rope, whatever. And Logan goes for the superplex, right? And he looks over and goes, hey, Corey, you say no one can superplex Kevin Owens? Watch this. And Cole goes, yeah, you did say that. You did say that, Corey, a couple weeks ago. And then avalanche fisherman's buster. And Corey goes, see? No one can superplex Kevin Owens. So that's a thing now. It's like, you try to superplex Kevin Owens, he gonna reverse it. Owens then super kicks Paul. And Paul hits 2 big punches for a 2. One of Paul's buddies is in the front row, and he hops the barricade. The referee's not looking at one point, but then the referee turns around and goes, "What are you doing? Who are you?" And the guy's like, "I ain't doing nothing. What are you doing?" And Logan Paul's like, "He's fine." And the ref's like, "You know what? Get out of here. Go. No." And then, like, this guy in a suit comes over, and then 2 security guards come over. And it's like, what? Okay. And so Paul tries to cause some distraction with the referee and whatnot. Now it would come Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So Austin Theory and Grayson Waller come out and they go, "Hey, leave the guy alone. What are you doing with this guy?" And the guy hands, I think it was Austin Theory, the brass knucks. Theory then hands them to Logan Paul. Logan Paul goes to punch Kevin Owens with the brass knucks, but Owens grabs the arm kind of like this. Like, he went like, I can't do it to myself, but he like grabs it and grabs the arm in a way where he could pull the brass knucks off of Logan Paul, put him on his own hand. So he puts the brass knucks on. The ref's not looking. He then punches Logan Paul in the face and goes for the pin. So he pulls the leg up, but his other arm is kind of like this. Ref counts 1. Ref counts 2. All of a sudden, the ref looks over and goes, "Brass knucks on your hand. Ding. Call for the bell." What? You didn't see it, ref. Yes, you see the brass knucks, but you didn't see him. Now, I might have to go back and look at this, because the way I saw it at first was that the referee never saw the punch at all, so he didn't see him use the knucks. But I could be wrong there, and the ref may have actually saw the punch, and so he's insinuating if the knucks are in your hand, then you had to have used them. Regardless, the referee immediately stops his count, calls for the bell, the match is over. And your winner, and still United States champion, Logan Paul. What? This match was so good. Then the guy hops the barricade, and it just all goes downhill from there. So after the match, Owens is pissed. Like, pissed. So he powerbombs Logan Paul through the table. Grabs a cough drop and walks off. Like, he grabs something from the table or whatever, the rubble. And Corey's like, "Oh, he just needed a Halls." And you see him walk off like, got the cough drop. So, yep. Pretty good match. Like, I really liked that match. I thought Kevin Owens was a phenomenal opponent for Logan Paul. And then we got that finish. Like, Logan Paul's had some good opponents. Logan Paul's worked Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. That match was great. But I felt the chemistry that we saw here was even better with him and Kevin Owens. Like, him and KO worked so well together. And not just in the match, but the stuff they did at the PC earlier this week for social media that they aired on SmackDown and they aired tonight, the interactions they've had in the ring, those two just click. There's something. And I don't think this is over yet. I think because of the finish, it's not over, and we're going to get more Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. Whether that is at Elimination Chamber or they stretch it all the way to Mania, we'll have to see. But give me more of this, because these two click and work really well together. So it's time for our main event. The men's Royal Rumble match. Match itself goes 1 minute. Not 1 minute, but this match, the U.S. title match, went 14 minutes and 2 seconds. The men's Rumble match goes 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 13 seconds. Main event, Jey Uso comes out first. Number 1, great reaction from the crowd. He's in the ring. He gets off the turnbuckle after posing and doing the thing. And he's like still in the ring, but he's kind of looking out into the crowd. And he hears the music that plays for number 2. And he's like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" And it's his brother, Jimmy. Usos start the match. This was great booking. This was phenomenal booking. So the match starts and they're trading blows. Jay got the better of the exchange, but then Jimmy got his knees up on a splash. Number 3, out comes Grayson Waller. Waller cuts a promo in the middle of him coming out saying, "You ever had a talking segment in the middle of the Rumble? I'm the host of the Grayson Waller Effect. I'm the Aussie icon. Let's talk for a second." Yeah, whatever. So he jumps up on the apron and immediately Jay super kicks him. But he ain't eliminated because he never got in the ring. Waller does eventually get in the ring, and he and Jimmy team up on Jay. Number 4 is Andrade. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but Andrade had new music. This was not the great Andrade music. The like, I loved Andrade Cien Almas's music, and he's just Andrade. He's not Andrade El Idolo. He's not Andrade Cien Almas. It was just Andrade. Now, granted, Corey Graves did call him an idol, but he is just Andrade. And that is it. Just Andrade. And so, give me 1 second. I just got a message that I need to read. This might be some big breaking news. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, never mind. Never mind. This is nothing. Okay, cool. Cool. Someone asking me a question instead of sending me news. I'll do one more thing real fast. Okay, no. Okay, cool. But yeah, Andrade's got new music. I was like, God dang. I love the mask that he wore. Like the mask and the jacket. And all looked great. Presentation-wise, really good. But he didn't have the music that I love. And I'm usually not a big theme song guy. Like, especially in the Women's Rumble, all these women are coming out, and I hear these theme songs, and I go, well, who's that? Oh, now I see the graphic. Who's that? Oh, now I see the... I don't know anybody's theme. But there are certain things that have resonated with me. Like, my ringtone is Daniel Bryan, his theme song. Bryan Danielson's WWE theme. That's my ringtone forever. I've had Randy Orton's theme as my ringtone somewhat. I've tried to switch over to it a couple times, and I'm just like, yeah, no, it don't feel right. Just Daniel Bryan's theme as my phone ringtone, it just feels right. To the point where there's been times where back in the day, we'd be watching WWE, Daniel Bryan comes out, and my daughter goes, your phone's ringing. Never mind, that's the TV. So, yeah, no. Theme songs usually don't resonate with me a lot, but then there's the ones that do. There's the ones that my ear catches, and I go, I like that one. A lot of them, I'm just take it or leave it, like Austin Theories or Grayson Waller's. Grayson Waller's is kind of cool, like dum, 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 or whatever it is, you know, ba-da-bum, however it goes. But that one I kind of like or whatever. But most of the theme songs, I'm just like, Jey Uso's is really cool. I will say that. Jimmy's, take it or leave it. So when Andrade comes out and he doesn't have that music that I was just so hoping to hear, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. But he comes out and gets a great pop from the crowd. Carmelo Hayes then comes out at number 5, making his Rumble debut. He looks great and quickly eliminates Grayson Waller. Nakamura comes out at number 6, and the crowd sang his song. McAfee was entertained, but they're like, Pat, you may not be able to dance because this ain't the same Nakamura. He may not like you anymore, but you can dance if you want, whatever. And the crowd's, oh, they're singing his song. And number 7 comes out, Santos Escobar. He goes face-to-face with Andrade at one point. He wants to work with Andrade. Andrade don't care about him, and they kind of go at it. Karrion Kross then comes out at number 8. Not much happens here until Dom comes out at number 9, and the crowd boos. But they didn't boo as much as I thought they would, which to me, I think, is a detriment of that building. The reason things didn't sound as great as they could have, I think, was because of the building. I don't know Mark Henry's theme song. Like, I can kind of hear it in my head, but I don't know Mark Henry's theme song. So Carlito comes out at number 10, pulled an apple out of his crotch, and then he took a bite of it. He had a balls apple. He then almost gets eliminated. Santos gets in his face on the apron. He spits him, puts the apple right in his face, eliminates him, eliminates Santos. Bobby Lashley comes out at number 11, and they say, uh-oh, Karrion Kross, you're screwed. Lashley spears Nakamura, Jimmy, and Dom. He gave Andrade a spine buster and eliminates Carlito and Kross from the ring. AOP then come out and they try to like console Cross, who was eliminated. They then yank Bobby off the apron after he was thrown over the top rope but not out of the ring. And so he's pulled out. Then the Street Profits run out in their gear. So I'm like, oh, are they supposed to be in this? Nope. Street Profits were not in this match, but they were in their gear. They could have just come out in like tracksuits or whatever. But to be in their gear. What? That was kind of dumb. You could say AOP was also in their gear, but their gear is also kind of just like clothes. But Street Profits were in their gold and black gear, so I don't know. All this was dumb. They all brawled. And so they're brawling literally up the aisleway to the back. Ludwig Kaiser comes out at number 12, and he's coming out like this. He's like walking out, and he's like, whoa, whoa. And so he walks down the ramp a little bit more, and there's two more guys fighting. I forget who exactly it was. And he's like, get out of my way. Get out of my way. And he gets in the ring. That's kind of dumb. If not really dumb, not needed at all. We know those two groups don't like each other, but this was kind of just like, meh. I could take it or leave it. So Kaiser comes out, like I said, number 12. Austin Theory, number 13. And we're about 21 minutes into the match. And aside from Andrade's return, not much has really happened aside from Andrade and the brawl with the Pride and the Street Profit, or the Pride and the Last Testament. Finn comes out at number 14, and Dom's now got some help. Balor assisted Dom, and they eliminate Carmelo Hayes. Then we're halfway through, and out comes, boom, boom. Wrestling has more than one royal family. And out is Cody Rhodes. Cody walks down the aisle. The crowd wakes up. They lose their minds. He gets in the ring and eliminates Theory. Balor and Dom then go after him. Bronson Reed then comes out, number 16. Reed pretty easily eliminates Andrade, which I wonder if there's something there. Because you always got to look at who eliminates who, and could that lead to a program going down the line. Kofi Kingston then comes out at number 17. They stated that Kofi now has the second most Royal Rumble appearances of anybody. This is his 16th Rumble. And the only person that has more than him is Kane with 18. So literally, 2 more Rumbles, Kofi will tie Kane's record. 3 more Rumbles, Kofi will break Kane's record. Rhodes eliminates Nakamura. Great storytelling there because they got the history. Kingston eliminates Kaiser. Again, great storytelling there. They've got that history. Especially with what comes next. Because Kofi is challenging Gunther on Monday for the IC title. So Kaiser gets eliminated, and who walks out next? Gunther. So Kaiser is kind of at the end of the ramp, kind of composing himself. Gunther walks down, looks and goes, eliminated, god damn it. Like he's all mad. He gets in the ring and immediately, boom, chops Kofi. Boom, chops Balor. Boom, boom, Dom and Jimmy. Gunther and Rhodes then face off. Kingston went after Gunther. Gunther was very easily eliminated by Gunther would very easily eliminate Kingston, which then goes, shit. Is that just saying he's gonna squash Kofi on Monday? So I'm like, and then Kofi didn't even have a special save. Kofi didn't Kofi in the Rumble. Like, what? You always hype up. Kofi always saves himself. Kofi this, Kofi that. Kofi didn't Kofi in the Rumble. I'm gonna say that right now. Kofi didn't Kofi. Ivar comes out at number 19, and they put Ivar over big on commentary, talking about all the stuff he's been doing as of late by himself. Ivar took it to Gunther. Jimmy tried to be friends with Ivar. He keeps trying to befriend the heels, and Ivar drops him. Then, at number 20, Braun Breaker. Now, we got to pause here for a second. Braun Breaker is the number 20th entrant in the 2024 Royal Rumble. Supposedly, this was a call made within the last 24 hours because this was supposed to be Brock Lesnar. According to a report from Mike Johnson of PWU Insider today, Brock Lesnar was withdrawn from the Rumble, and Braun Breaker was put in his spot, put in his place. Now, we don't know if everything that Braun did in this match was exactly what Brock was supposed to do, or if they shifted creative. But we know that this was supposed to be Brock's spot, and they gave it to Braun Breaker. And I couldn't be more happy. Not happy in a way of, Brock don't need to be in there after what we heard Brock may have done. I'm more happy because Braun Breaker, especially with commentary here, came off as a guy that it's like, oh, he needs to be fighting Gunther for the IC title Monday on Raw instead of Kofi. They put this guy over like he's a beast. They put this guy over like he is a killing machine, and not just on commentary, but his work. He looked like a fucking badass. He looked like a star, like a big time, big top tier pro wrestler. He came off as big as his uncle Scott ever did. He looked like he was on the level of Scott Steiner at his highest popularity. Like, he just came off as just a big, huge star. Like, Braun Breaker looked amazing in this match. He comes in the ring, runs a million miles a minute, and boom, Spear Jimmy, slams Balor, clotheslines Ivar. And Pat McAfee's like, oh my God, this Braun Breaker guy is fast. This Braun Breaker guy is explosive. And Corey Graves goes, yeah, Pat, he may be faster than Tyreek Hill. So Braun's over here just killing people. The crowd's buzzing, and that's a good thing. Braun comes in and wakes the crowd back up. When you can wake the crowd back up, you have something. There is something there. Braun faces off with Gunther, and the crowd is oh so into it. Breaker spears Gunther, and the crowd goes wild. They're loving this. Omos comes out at number 21. He gets in the ring and eliminates Reed. Breaker eliminates Ivar. Countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go. And Pat's like, why is my music playing? What is going on? And Corey Graves goes, or Michael Cole goes, Pat, you're in the Rumble. Get up and get in there. Go, Pat. And Pat's like, what? So he stands up. He kind of takes his jacket off, and he's like, am I really supposed to get? Cole's like, get in the ring. You're in the Rumble. And so he gets in the ring. And keep in mind, he's putting over Omos as this big guy. Because Michael Cole's like, oh, this is Omos, the 7'3" giant. And Pat goes, he's 7 what? 7'3", Cole? And he's like, no way is he that big. And he's putting him over. And so he walks up the steps, gets into the ring. There's Braun Breaker. There's Omos. They both look at Pat. And Pat goes, climbs up the top rope, climbs over the top rope. He's on the apron. He's just like, gets back in the ring. They then look back at Pat. They're still looking at Pat. And Pat's like, yeah, nope. Climbs up the ropes, gets over the ropes, jumps out of the ring, and he's just like, I'm gone. Gets back on commentary and goes, I ain't messing with those two guys. Rejoins commentary. Breaker then eliminates Omos. But then immediately, old Dirty Dom eliminates Breaker. So here's my question. Was Dom supposed to eliminate Brock from the Rumble? Was that the planned spot? Or was this a change when they turned it into Braun Breaker? Maybe we know. Maybe we find out. Maybe we don't ever find out. I don't know. So, countdown comes. Number 23, JD McDonough. JD's walking down the ramp. Braun Breaker's pissed off, and boom! Just the most gnarly looking spear. Legit to JD. JD's just like, oh, selling it like he was ripped in two. He was mowed down by one of them new freaking Mustang Dark Horses or whatever they're called. Yeah, Mustang Dark Horse. So JD's just out of it. Braun's pissed off. Number 24 comes out. We know who it's going to be. It's R-Truth. The Truth comes out, and he goes to JD. He's like, hey, you get up and get in the ring. And he throws him in the ring. Then this goddamn guy proceeds to get on the apron, grab the tag rope, and go, Dom, tag me in. And Dom's like, what are you doing? He goes, hold on. And he goes around to the other side of the turnbuckle, grabs Roman, goes, all right, tag me in. And Dom's like, what? So Dom tags him in. And Truth ran wild at Gunther. Truth then did the John Cena comeback. You can't see me. But instead of running to the side and then coming back for the drop, he runs this way. And then when he turns around, boom, there's Gunther to boot him in the face. Miz then comes out at number 25. Miz wound up trying to work with R-Truth. Miz tries to eliminate Dom, and Truth saves him. And he's like, Truth, what are you doing? He goes, I'm Judgment Day. And he's like, you're not Judgment Day. And he's like, yeah, I'm Judgment Day. I got to save Dom. And Dom goes, yeah. He's Judgment Day. We're working together. This is great. Great comedy. I loved it. Dom then gives Miz a 619. Priest comes out. Priest immediately is like, fuck this guy. And he clocks Truth and eliminates him. The crowd boos so loud that Truth is gone. Number 27 comes back. It's CM Punk. CM Punk comes out. The crowd loves it. The crowd's going nuts. And again, they played off history. They played off some stuff that's happened recently. Punk eliminates Dom. You might say, what history? What recently? Punk had 2 live event matches in December against Old Dirty Dom. One in LA and one in New York. Ricochet then comes out at number 28, and commentary is talking about how Ricochet had a super viral moment last year in the Rumble. And Corey Graves goes, that's all well and cool, Cole, but Ricochet needs to learn. It's not about having a viral moment in the Royal Rumble. It's about winning the Royal Rumble. At this point, Gunther has eliminated The Miz. McIntyre then comes out at number 29. Jay Fired Up was eliminated by Gunther. The countdown is on for number 30. Who is the last man in the Rumble? And then we hear, let's go! And it's Sami Zayn. And I say it like that because it was a little lackluster. The crowd loved it. The crowd popped. The crowd sang his song. But then I couldn't tell you anything else with Sami. He went after McIntyre and then got eliminated. Literally. Sami comes out at number 30 and it was so lackluster. So nothing. McIntyre eliminates Ricochet at this point. Zayn goes after McIntyre with a haluva kick and eliminates Priest. McIntyre then just eliminates Sami. At this point, they show Seth Rollins up in a skybox. They show Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman up in a skybox watching. It's McIntyre, Gunther, Punk, and Rhodes, our final 4. Punk went for a GTS on McIntyre, but McIntyre slipped out and hit headbutt. McIntyre Claymore kicks both Punk and Rhodes. Punk got McIntyre on his shoulders and chucked him out. Gunther then powerbombs Punk before Rhodes eliminates Gunther. And we're down to our final 2, and they just have a match. And I was so this is awesome. They just had a match. There's the 2 of them not fully trying to eliminate each other at first, but trying to incapacitate each other so then they can go for the elimination. So there's an exchange that Rhodes was getting the better of before Punk hit a triple German suplex and takes Cody to Suplex City. Rhodes comes back with some jabs and a bionic elbow. Punk tried to eliminate Rhodes, but Rhodes got back in. Rhodes comes back and hits a crossroads. Rhodes went to eliminate Punk, but Punk counters and hits him with a GTS. Another exchange led to Punk hitting a pedigree that the crowd really didn't react to, which was weird. Punk then went for another GTS, but Rhodes countered and chucked Punk out of the ring and eliminates him. The crowd pops big because Rhodes, well, he just won. Cody is now in the ring crying on his hands and knees before he eventually gets up and points to the sign. He then turns around and points to Roman Reigns. So there we go. Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble. He's the first person since Stone Cold Steve Austin 26 years ago to win the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. He was only the 4th person ever to do so. Hogan, Michaels, Austin, Rhodes. So awesome. So cool. It is going to be Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. Because Cody was asked in the press conference afterwards, so who are you facing at WrestleMania? Is it Roman Reigns? And he goes, I didn't make it obvious enough when I literally pointed at the guy. I'm glad that Roman was sitting up there so I could just tell him right then and there, yeah, I want you. So it's Cody and Roman, WrestleMania. But this is awesome. This is cool. This is great. This match is so much fun. But the crowd, like there was times where this match was like nothing happening. And then someone had to come in and wake up this crowd, unfortunately. But overall, I thought I liked this match. I really like this match. Elite Tiss, that's not even all my hats. That's just all that would really fit on the wall that looked good. I got more in a box. Trust me, I've got over 30, 40 hats. I just ordered 2 new ones because the new season's coming. I ordered a retro number 25 Ken Schrader Budweiser hat. And then I'm going to get another one like this, the number 9 Chase Elliott. But instead of the gray here, it's going to be all camo. I'm getting the camo Chase Elliott because I don't have a camo Chase Elliott yet. I've got a camo Kyle Larson. I've got a camo 18 Kyle Busch. That's camo Gordon hats. But I don't have a camo number 9 Chase Elliott. And they don't yet have a good camo number 8 Kyle Busch yet. But yeah, that was the Royal Rumble. Really good, great, fun show overall. And there we go. He says flex in his hat collection. Not really a flex, but it's more like how nowadays everyone's like, oh, look at all my shoes. I got all these expensive, fancy shoes. I don't care about shoes. I'll show you right now. Twice a year, I go buy $15 Walmart shoes. Literally, twice a year, I go buy these exact same shoes. Walmart for $15. I don't care about shoes, but I like hats. I always wear a hat. There are people that I know that can literally say they've never seen me without a hat on. So, yeah. Ring talk. Screw you. That left turn. Hey, there's right turns as well, depending on what track you race. Rights and lefts. Regardless, I'm going to say right now, this is a wrestling podcast, but I'll say it right now. NASCAR is better than pro wrestling. Regardless, with that, everything, bada bing, bada boom. That was the Royal Rumble. I thought Royal Rumble was a great show, that the Royal Rumble was super fun, that the Royal Rumble was easy to watch. 4 matches. And there we go. Again, that was the Royal Rumble. Now remember, you guys can call into the show. Do so by calling into 510-906-1341. Put the number on the screen itself so it doesn't have to just scroll. You'll see it all the time. 510-906-1341. Let's pull that up on the screen here. Let's pull that up. So if you guys do want to call in, you can do so. Headphones, and while we do that, I'm going to set the Twitch poll, and we'll check the other polls as well. So let me set the Twitch poll. Oh, we do have a call coming in. Let's take that really fast. Oh, why is it not? I don't hear it, though. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? Caller, you're on the air. Can you hear me? Hello? Going once, and they hung up. Give me 1 second to check my settings just to make sure they're set right. Okay, we hear it now. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble?
Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble?
I thought the Royal Rumble was incredible today. I thought the women's match definitely stole the show. And I'd like to point something out.
Go for it.
This is the second year in a row that Liv Morgan was the last one eliminated.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about it like that, but yes, that is true. And caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? Nope. That one didn't get it. But yeah, I didn't think about that. Liv was number 2, like this. See, the reason I didn't think about it like that is because she was eliminated so quickly after Jade, and then it was like Jade was out, she was out, boom, it's over. That's why I didn't think about it like that. But if you guys want to call in again, remember you can do so. 510-906-1341. Try to get this Twitch poll to go. For some reason, it's not wanting to go. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? Going once. Going twice. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? take this next one. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? Hello? For some reason, no one wants to. They want to call and they don't want to respond. I don't know if it's an issue on my end, but the other one heard me, so let's try this one. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? What did you think of the Royal Rumble? Switch over to this call. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? All right, I don't know why this isn't working. If you've called and like you can't hear me or something, let me know in the chat. Because it seems like we're having some sort of an issue. Liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. The Twitch poll is live, so go vote in that one if you're watching on Twitch. And we'll refresh the other polls as well. Try to take another call. Let's see. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble? Nope. Very weird. Try this one. This is a new number. This one. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? 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 What did you think of the Royal Rumble? Nope, this person's just still watching the Rumble. This one, they keep calling and not saying anything, so we're not going to answer that one. But I don't know what's going on. I'll try to fix it and we'll get it working next time. But yeah. Also, if you guys do have super chats you want to put in the live chat, you can do so as well. Elite says, I couldn't hear you. So maybe it's not working. Okay, they say I can't hear you. Give me 1 second to check something really quickly then. We will try to take calls again, but give me 1 quick second. I want to check something. All right, now let's see if you guys can hear me. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble?
Bro, the show was great. I love the Royal Rumble. Now my question is, Tim, what is your thoughts about? Will we see a possible Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair match at Mania?
So I don't know if that's the route. There's really nothing that we've heard of for Bianca, and the way they teased it tonight, I would hope so. That would be my prediction based off of what we saw tonight and what we know so little of what they're doing with Bianca right now.
Yeah, well, I was thinking another way they could probably go is Nia Jax, because the way Jade manhandled her, I was just like, oh my God.
Okay, so here's my one thing with that though. I don't know if a Nia Jax and Jade match could be all that great.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they're both not bad, but I feel like they both need to be carried to an extent. Like they need someone just a little bit better than them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see that. And my other question is, now a friend of mine had a discussion when we were watching the Royal Rumble. We were talking about now that Cody won. Does that mean that is the Rock and Roman match now canceled, or is that still up in the air?
So with that, I want to say thank you for the call. But as far as his question, what's going on with The Rock and Roman Reigns, we don't know. Again, as of last week, maybe even just the last couple of days, Dave Meltzer had recently reported, hey, The Rock still wants the match. The Rock still wants to face Roman at WrestleMania. And so there's a couple ways they can go about this. Maybe they have, like I said earlier, Roman works both nights. Maybe Roman works night 1 against The Rock and night 2 against Cody. He beats the Rock on Saturday, but Cody beats him on Sunday. That's the only thing I can think of. Unless they push the match back to SummerSlam for next year's Mania. And I just don't think they do next year's Mania, but let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hey, sorry, I'm calling in regards to the live stream on the Royal Rumble.
Yes, what did you think of the show?
I love it. Actually, it's quite intriguing.
What was your thoughts? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, just a question about what his thoughts are currently going into WrestleMania on what might be the main event, what might not be the main event, who might appear before then, or what his thoughts on who might have appeared at the Royal Rumble.
All right, so with that, I want to say thank you for the call. As far as like what I think is going to main event, what I think is who's going to appear and stuff, there's a lot of things in play right now. We don't know what The Rock is going to do. Just like with the last caller before that. We don't know what The Rock plan is now. I kind of thought maybe we would see The Rock tonight, and we didn't. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. But overall, regardless, I think we already know it's Cody and Roman on one of those two nights, most likely night 2 in the main event, going on last. And I'm going to say it. Night 2 is the real main event of WrestleMania. So whatever is the night 2 main event, the last match of the entire weekend, to me, that's the real main event. So that's the biggest match of the entire weekend. It's got to be Cody and Roman, with Cody hopefully picking up the win. Other matches and stuff we could see, I think we're getting Becky and Rhea. I think we're getting Bayley and Io. Maybe Jade and Bianca. That was teased tonight. Heck, I'd like to see Braun Breaker on the main roster challenging Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania. And then some other things. I'm not 100% sure where else they're going. Like Punk is probably going to face Rollins. The plan is for Rollins to work Mania. He's going to train and rehab and do what he has to get healthy enough. But that's still the plan as of last Monday. Punk and Rollins. Now, is that a main event? We don't know. Is that the night 1 main event? It could be. But it also could be Roman Rock. Maybe Rhea Becky. We just don't know. That night 1 main event is what's up in the air. I'm going to say it right now, and I'll put money on it. Cody, Roman, night 2 main event. But let's take this call right here. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble?
Hey, Jim, how you doing? Hope your day night's going well.
Pretty good.
I just have one little question for you.
Yes.
Who do you think was the real breakout star for you in each Royal Rumbles that didn't really win? I have to say Piper Niven was really good. Honestly, looking really good, really looking really strong. And as for the men's, I think I gotta go give it to Gunther. So who do you think was like the real breakout star for you that didn't win the Rumble?
Thank you for the call. And as far as who I think was the breakout of each Rumble, I mean, I've kind of already said it, but Jade for the women, because they made Jade look like a megastar. And then Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker came off like, why the fuck is he still in NXT? When you look at Braun Breaker in this Rumble, you go, he does not need to be in NXT anymore. He needs to be on the main roster. He needs to be on the goddamn main roster now because he looked like a star. So if I'm picking who my standouts were from each Rumble, I would say the women, Jade, and the men, Braun Breaker. But let's take a couple more calls if you guys want to call in. Again, the number is right here on the screen, 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. We get the polls here as well. While we wait for another call to come in, as far as the X poll does go, 61% liked the show, 27% thought it was just all right, and 11% did not like it. Looking over at the YouTube community poll, basically the same thing. 67% liked the show, 26% thought it was just all right, and 7% didn't like it. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble?
I thought the women's Rumble was better than the men's, but you got any word on the Julia lady or Camille?
So as far as Julia does go, there is a development on that. So some thought that she was going to show her contract with Stardom is up, I want to say, in March. and she was supposed to work the New Japan show in Chicago. She was most likely going to drop the Strong Women's Championship on that show to whoever they want to put the title on next. Yet, it was reported this week that Julia has told Stardom, when my contract's up in March, I'm gone. I'm done. So that could be an indication that she's going to WWE as soon as her contract's over. And then as far as Camille does go, WWE is interested. Word is that they did make her an offer, but she was at AEW last week. We don't know in what capacity. We don't know if they want to sign her or if they made her an offer, but she was backstage at AEW, I want to say last week or the week before. That's what we have on those two. With that is we got any more calls, you guys can do so. Some of the comments here in the X poll or the YouTube community poll. I'll take this call first. Caller, you're on the air. What did you think of the Royal Rumble?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what did you think of the Rumble?
Yeah, I think it was a pretty solid show. I got two questions. Did you think that Kyrie same spot, was that a bouch, or when she was like hanging outside the ring, was that a bouch, or do you think that was planned?
Oh, so I don't think it was a botch. I think it was a planned spot. The way it came off, because the way like Asuka was trying to save her and then they both get eliminated together, it felt like the plan for me, or to me.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's true. Yeah, I was seeing that too, once I started seeing how they were reacting.
Right.
And my second question is, if CM Punk never came back, who did you think was going to be in the final spot with Cody in the Royal Rumble match?
That is such a tough question. Oh, man, that is such a hard question. Maybe Gunther again? And then you'd have Cody and Gunther final two like we just had last year. But maybe Nakamura, and they just play off of the Cody and Nakamura storyline where he's like, I finally vanquished Nakamura. I eliminated him last in the Rumble, and now I'm going to finish the story. So maybe Gunther or Nakamura.
Okay. And do you think so? What do you think is the plan for CM Punk now? Because I mean, if he just came back just to get eliminated, like, do you think he's going to be in Elimination Chamber now? Winning it all?
All I'm going to say is he's going to make his way to Seth Rollins, whether that's winning the Chamber or another way. But it would probably be him winning the Chamber because we know he's working the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Australia. So I think it's going to be Punk probably winning the Elimination Chamber.
Okay. And anything about Gunther's opponent now that Brock might not even like cut his allegations or whatnot? Do you think he's sidelined now?
So the Brock being Gunther's opponent was always fan speculation. No one ever actually confirmed and reported that like legit. That's always kind of been like fan speculation. So I don't know what they do with Gunther. Based off the Rumble, I want it to be Braun Breaker.
Okay. And I don't know, do you think fans were kind of disappointed that Sasha didn't come out? I know that was all speculation as well. We were just all hyping each other up, but do you think we see her in AEW now at this point? Or
I believe, and I'm under the assumption she's already signed with AEW, and they're just waiting on the perfect time to debut her.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I just want to drop by. I'll just rewatch. I'm rewatching it right now. But yeah, shout out Pro Limited. Man, thanks for taking my call.
All right, thank you, and have a great night. Let's switch over to this next call here. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What'd you think of the Rumble?
Okay, I loved it. I thought the women stole the show, like they always do. But sorry if you answered this already, but like, what do we know about the WWE TNA deal? Because seeing Jordan Grace, I was watching in a bar. I was so dang loud when I realized who walked in.
So what we know about that, it was a deal that came together last weekend, and it was mainly just for this Rumble. It's not like a partnership. As of right now, there's no other plans to work together. It was basically like they had an idea, they reached out, and they made it happen. But it was just basically, as of right now, it's just a one-off, and they wanted something that people were not expecting at all in the Royal Rumble. Like the most like they called it, like the report that came out today was, they wanted something so off the wall that no fan would have even tried to predict it.
Mission accomplished.
Right.
That's all I was wondering. Thanks, man.
All right. Thanks for the call and have a great night. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 75% liked the show and 25% thought it was just all right. But with that, we'll wait a couple more minutes, minute or so, to see if we get any more calls. We'll see if there's any news that has dropped since we've gone live coming out of this Rumble. Let's see here. If there's anything. I don't think there's really any news, but let's take this call really fast. Caller, you're on the air. What'd you think of the Royal Rumble? Hello? Hello? What'd you think of the Rumble?
Oh, awesome.
And okay, cut out. But as far as I don't see any more news now. So we can talk a little bit. Triple H was asked about the Vince stuff in the press conference, and he was more of like, "Hey, what are your thoughts on this? What did you know? What didn't you know? How much did you know?" And he was just basically like, "You're not gonna like my answer, but I'm not gonna say anything." Basically. Basically what he said. You're not going to like my answer, and we're just going to move forward. Then he was asked, hey, so what are you going to do to make your workplace feel safe for everybody working there? And he's like, everything and anything we can. And then he was asked, did you read the lawsuit? And he said, no, I found out about it just like you guys did the same time, but I did not read it. So he kind of gave boilerplate, corporate non-answers. Basically said no comment each time. But let's take this call really fast. Caller, you're on the air. What do you think of the Royal Rumble?
Hey, I just wanted to know what was your reaction to Chelsea getting squashed by Nia and Piper Niven during the Rumble?
Oh my God, I thought that was so funny. Because Chelsea Green is like one of the best sellers in wrestling, in my opinion. Like when she takes a bump or gets smashed or squashed, she sells it almost better than anybody. So no, I was laughing the entire time. I should have mentioned it in my review, but I didn't write it down. But no, I thought Chelsea was a standout as far as she was so funny. Every time she would get squashed and her body would just flop like a fish. Chelsea Green is amazing.
She's a national treasure.
Oh yeah.
And at least she lasted longer than her previous 2 Rumble appearances.
That's true. That is very true. But I want to say thank you for the call and have a great night.
Have a good night.
But with that, guys, yeah, so with the Triple H stuff, again, he basically gave non-answers to everything and was like, we're going to do what we got to do. We're going to do what we got to do to move forward and see how it all does go. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, we will be back live Monday morning for the wrestling wrap-up and then Monday evening for Monday Night Raw. With that, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm going to go watch the football tomorrow. We got 2 big games. We're going to figure out who's in the Super Bowl. I'm going to finish watching this IMSA race that ends tomorrow morning at 10:30. It's all night going. It's going right now. Got to check who's winning. And so with that, guys, have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.